Here we go. All right. I'm so excited. I wanted to hit that record button ASAP because usually I say something crazy and awesome and I forgot to hit the record button, but I didn't hit it right away because I started with some music live in the class and I didn't want the YouTubes to turn it off because I don't own the rights to that music. Oh, my heart. I'm so excited, you guys. This is so amazing. And was that Lisa who said that? Who said, like, talking to a superstar right now? Yes.
Good morning. I said, I feel like I'm talking to a superstar right now.
Yes, absolutely. I'm super excited. There was one time I had a phone call with somebody and they're like, oh my God, it's like talking to Jesus. I was like, okay, yes, no, yes, we're all one. But like, it's definitely crazy sometimes chit-chatting with people, but I'm so super excited to be here. Hello, look at all these beautiful people. Oh my gosh, we got 57 people in the, we even have 14 in the waiting room. My goodness, come on in, everybody, come on in. I'm so excited. All right, I'm going to make sure I'm paying attention to the waiting room. We had over 300 people register for this. We do have room for everybody. Most people, some people don't always be able to make the live, but I'm glad, so glad you guys are here. Let's see if you guys can drop in the chat where you guys are from. We got Cheryl, happy Saturday. Ash, excited to be here. Trisha, same. Good morning. Good morning. I'm so excited. All right, and the waiting room just keeps filling up again. All right, we got people from Texas, Illinois. I'm in Illinois right now, in Illinois. It's starting to get cold and nice and breezy. We got some people in London, Northern Arizona, Milwaukee, New York, Chicago, Oklahoma, Jackson, Mississippi. This is amazing. I'm so super stoked. Utah. We got a bunch of people in Florida, Chicago, Illinois. Woo woo. All right, I'm going to let some more people in. We are up to 61 now. Good afternoon. Just want to let you know you took your test. Yes. Fantastic. I'm so excited. We do have quite a mix of people here. So if you don't know me in all my areas, I'm actually going to mute everybody just so we can have the background. Oh, we got 66 people in the room right now. I love that number. People always think it's a scary number, but it's actually an awesome number. All right, so I'm going to just mute everybody just so that we can keep any of the background noise down. But there's a lot of different people in this room from all kinds of different places. I've had people who worked with me under the Insurance Exam Queen who were able to pass their exam, land an amazing job, whatever it may be in that career aspect. I've got people who have watched me grow my business from $220 in the first months to now we have a multi-million-dollar business here from the Insurance Exam Queen business. And so you've joined me in that space. We've had people who've just seen that my life that I've been able to live is so amazing. They're like, what is she doing? I want to follow what she's doing. So this room is filled with all kinds of people. And I'm just so excited to be here with you today. I'm letting the waiting room is just filling up. So I'm just going to keep watching that. If you guys feel free to turn your cameras on or off, whatever makes you most comfortable, that's fine by me. And I'm going to just take a minute here to take in a deep breath and just honor this moment and set the intention that we're going to have the most amazing time. My desire and my wish is that you walk away from this feeling comfortable and confident about being able to create the life that you love. Whether it's in the insurance industry or wherever you may be, whatever it is that you are doing, I want you to be living a life that you love. And I know what it takes to get here, to be living a life that you love. It was hard work. There was a lot of stuff I had to do, and only this much of it was actually building a business. So much, and be able to have a stream of income. So much more of it was internal, emotional, and mental work. And so we're going to be talking about that today. And so I just want to set the intention that I want to give you the most amazing gift. And that is the belief that you can and should have the most amazing, incredible life that you want to live. And so I'm super excited that you guys are here, that you trust me to be here and learn this from me and be on this journey with me. And I am so super stoked that you're here and that we get to do this. And the waiting room just keeps filling up. We might get up to 100 people today. I'm excited to have 100 people live in our class. That is so awesome, so amazing, so super stoked that you are here. However, I do want to get into it because, you know, I can end up talking for a long time. So I do want to start sharing what it is that we're here for. If for whatever reason you have to leave early or whatever, you will get a copy of this recording. So I am recording this now and it will be sent to you. It's likely going to be up on my YouTube channel, but also it will be emailed to everyone who registered for this class. So I'm super excited about that. And the waiting room just keeps filling up. I need someone to monitor it for me and add people as we go. But let me get set up here with, I made a beautiful presentation for you, which I'm super excited to share with you. And so let me get that pulled up here. And presenter view. There we go. And there's my presenter screen, learning all the technical pieces to this. Wait, where'd you go? It disappeared on me. All right, here we go. Got it. Thank you. Oh, wait, I think I picked the wrong option. Hang on. Present. Oh, no, I want both. Can I have both? Oh, is that okay? I see now. Okay. Looks a little different than the last time I did it. All right, we're gonna do it that way. Okay, and then share screen. You guys can see screen 3. Yay, all right, are you guys able to see that? Yeah, looks like it. Okay, perfect, perfect. All right, and then let me pull up my screen. Okay, wonderful. Okay, I'm so super excited. The hair appointment rocks. Yes, I just got my fresh, you know, what is it called? Roots bleached. And I was jamming out to Eminem like the whole time. I'm like, I got that Slim Shady look going on. I love it. And I'm so sad, like I got my jewelry, my bling on right now, but like I have to take it off with the baby because she pulls it everywhere. She takes it off and I'm like, I miss my gold blinkies, bling. Like I love being dripped in gold all the time, but it just makes it so hard when you got a baby touching you and grabbing your stuff all the time. All right. Oh, more waiting room people. Okay. All right. We're up to 80 some people now. I'm so super stoked. All right. I'm going to go ahead and get started though, so I don't like, you know, just talk forever. We got to get done at some point. So again, I am Melissa Dillon. Some of you know me as the insurance exam queen, and I want to introduce you to me on the other side of things. I am Melissa Dillon, and I want to talk about my world. Some of you know this, some of you don't. But I'm in a world where we make up to $5,000 a day. The other day we were so close to $6,000. It was so exciting. I make 6 figures a month on different months. We have a multi-million-dollar business. We have companies that are wanting to buy our business for multi-millions of dollars. I live on a new house on a 100-acre property, and I wanted you to see what my world is like. Everyday life for me is getting to hang out with my family. That's my pond right there in the background. I get to spend a lot of time with my beautiful baby who's amazing. I get to truly watch her grow up. I don't have to, you know, we have help, like we have, you know, nannies who help and we have family who helps, but like, I really do truly get to intentionally live with my child and my baby without worrying about, you know, clocking into work, without worrying about having to send her away or have other people take care of her that I don't really know, you know, like I've thought about like daycare is like, you don't always know who your baby is with. And like, it would hurt my heart to have to do that. And so I get to live this amazing life where she gets to be at home, you know, with us, with family. I have an amazing husband who gets to take care of all these 100 acres. You know, he doesn't have to work a job other than what I want him to do, which is taking care of our property. So that's his big lawnmower. He almost drove it into the lake that day. I actually had gone down to talk to him about it because He was so close to go. There's like a hill right there, and it was a little bit scary. But this is my everyday life for me, where we're making all kinds of money, growing an incredibly successful business, being able to live with my baby, being able to hang out with my family, first class tickets, wherever it is that we are going. But I want you to know my life was not always this way. So back in 2017, this was me, and this was the situation. I was extremely stressed. I was having shingles down my back. I'm 20 something years old with shingles down my back, which is not supposed to happen until you're like 60. My cortisol levels were through the roof. Cortisol levels are your stress hormone. So I had immense stress running through my body, and there was nothing seemingly that I was doing was bringing it down. I had to piss in a jug all day for them to measure the cortisol levels in my pee. I had to soak on cotton balls so that they could measure the amount of cortisol in my spit. I was super stressed, and the levels just kept going up. He's like, it was too high when it was 26, and the normal is 19, and it went up to 36, whatever that means. The doctor telling me that. And all of this was leading to so much craziness in my life that I actually decided to sell everything that I owned that didn't fit in my van. I moved into my friend's living room. So this was a picture of me figuring out how to fit everything under my bed. And she took a picture of me. I thought that was adorable of her. Thank you. But this is what I did to transform. And like this whole journey that I have taken has been documented on my Facebook. So you can literally scroll back to 2017 on my page and see the kind of life that I was living and what I was doing. So during that year in 2017, so one of the reasons I was so stressed out, I was working a job that was really difficult and hard. I had an adoptive daughter who was one of my students. So I was a school teacher. I had an adoptive daughter who had immense amount of trauma prior to ever meeting me. And now I was her mother having to deal with it. I shaved my head. I was so stressed out. I was like, I have to do something crazy and dramatic. And I shaved my head. I had a boyfriend at that time who just completely ghosted me out of nowhere. And I thought that it was one of the most amazing relationships I had up until that point, and he just completely ghosted me. And so my whole life just came to this crazy train wreck of 2017. I had chronic yeast infections, and I went to the Mayo Clinic because I'm like, there's got to be like some crazy underlying disease somewhere in my body that is causing all of these problems. And they ultimately gave me a meditation CD. They said I had high functioning anxiety and I just needed to de-stress. And I'm like, I don't even know how, like, what? I was like, give me a pill and fix it. And they're like, there is no pill to fix this. You've got to fix it. So I decided, this is a post where I talked about selling my furniture. I had moved 6 times since like 2009. I would never had a lot of stability in my life. And I had moved so many times. This furniture had come with me, and I was so in love with this piece of furniture, but I decided to sell it all. I sold everything. I was like, I'm going to live in an RV. I was like, I'm not making a ton of money at my job. I'm stuck. I have no sense of freedom. I can't even afford the place that I'm living in. I was like, if I'm going to be broke and stuck, I might as well be broke and free. So that's where I sold everything that I owned that didn't fit into my car. This is me with my car all packed up. I went to Michigan and I hung out on the beach all summer with my family. I lived out with my cousin and my grandma, and I didn't know what exactly I was going to do. I just knew that I couldn't live this life anymore. And I got a tattoo that for me symbolized freedom, authentic expression. It represents courage. There's so many pieces. The lion for courage. I'm a Leo. The bumblebee for Melissa. The butterfly with when I was 16, I had thyroid cancer, and it's like I survived that, and I just wanted something that symbolized that I have the strength and the courage to be able to live and master my life. And I got this amazing tattoo. That was the first one. I now got my whole arm decked out, but that was my first big one. And this is what I did. I just minimized my whole life, decided that I wanted to live a life of freedom, sold everything that I had. And I was like, I'm going to start making a difference in my life. I'm going to have a life of freedom. I'm going to figure this out some way, somehow. I already feel like I'm living in hell. This is my bottom. So I might as well live it up and figure out how to have a better life from this point. So I also did try to attempt to start a business in 2017. I basically had a summer paycheck as a school teacher. I finished out the school year and I had a summer paycheck, and I decided to spend the most of it buying this Amazon course. And I bought this course that was going to teach me how to sell on Amazon and being able to build a business that way. And it did not work out for me. I also tried to start a life insurance, working for a company that sold life insurance. And I paid them money to get started with it. And then they gave me like a bunch of phone numbers to call. And I started calling these people like, hey, I've got a life insurance opportunity for you. And they're like, quit calling me, you're so annoying. And I was like, oh, sorry. So I think I had only gotten one person who was willing to fill out an application with me. So that didn't feel like the right thing. And like through this whole post, if I was to spend time reading it, I'm like trying to figure out what to do. I didn't want to go back into a call center. I didn't want to be in a cubicle anymore. I didn't want to go back to teaching in a normal classroom. So much trauma and heartache comes to us from being in a classroom, which is why I cannot be a teacher anymore. I was telling kids to sit down, shut up, listen to me, and like not allow them any sense of freedom. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, this isn't who I am. I don't like trying to make children cry so that they listen to me. I'm like, this is nuts. And so I couldn't go back to teaching. So I was like, maybe Montessori, because that's a better environment, but I'm going to have to spend, $10,000 to be retrained into the Montessori, but I don't really want to be in the classroom again like that. And I was just all over the place. I'm like, what do I do? So I quit my jobs. I was driving Lyft and Uber. I didn't know exactly what I was going to do. I was willing to take any job that wasn't permanent, that would allow me to live and feed myself, like Lyft and Uber, substitute teaching. But ultimately trying to start these businesses just wasn't working for me. And what happened was, I learned that I needed to do more internal work on my mind and my emotions before I could have a successful business of my own. So I ultimately got back into a regular job, but at least I had a new sense of like, my life needs to have freedom. And so because I was willing to sell everything that I owned in order to have a life of freedom, I was able to land a job that gave me a lot of freedom. And it was a job where I would fly around to different insurance companies and teach their people how to pass the insurance exam. So I was now traveling. I could visit my family while I was doing this. And so every new location I went to, I would fly back somewhere else, visit and hang out with family, get back on an airplane again. I had a corporate credit card to live off of. So I at least had gotten myself to a point where I could have a steady paycheck. I could travel and I could have freedom. I was planning on living in a van. Like, it's like, I'll just live in a van. But I was able to get a job that allowed me to live in really fancy hotels, and it was a wonderful life. And it was during that time that I realized I needed to do growth and evolution on myself. So I got back into a job that gave me a steady money. I had a lot more freedom and flexibility in my life. I didn't feel stuck. I didn't feel poor. And from that place, I was able to begin healing and working on my inner emotions and my mental journey. I am telling you right now, as a multi-million-dollar business owner, if there was one thing, it is go to therapy. More than anything else. People say you need an awesome business plan. You need this, you need that, you need this strategy, you need to post on Facebook every day. I'm like, no, the number one thing you should start with is go to therapy. And in fact, that's exactly what I did. So I had a growth and evolution journey between 2017 and 2022. This is some of the things that I was doing. I was going to healing sessions. I would work with a person who could like heal my energy. And I don't even know what she was doing. To me, it felt like a deep meditation. And every time I would go to it, I would come out of it and I would feel so much better. And from that place of feeling better, I was able to make better choices. I was able to do better things. And so I was paying $150 an hour to be able to go to these sessions. And I did it for up to 3 years. I also started therapy at $25 every week for 2 years. And then eventually it became $120 every 2 weeks because my insurance changed, but I still was like, I have to go. I have to keep going. This has been some of the most amazing transformations for me. I learned about rapid transformation therapy, and I spent $300 a month doing that for 6 months so I can have some quicker, faster healing. I also have spent hours and hours of reading books, listening to personal development talks and lectures. If you're able to look at like my YouTube history and all the things that I've listened, the books I've listened to over and over again, my Audible that I listened to the books, like I was, as all that traveling that I was doing, there was an earbud in my ear and I am listening to books. I'm learning from other people who have done this. And I was on this constant journey of like, I need to learn how to live a better life. I need to learn whatever it is, I know there is something out there where I can learn it and I could fix and change my life from where I was stressed, shingles down my back. I also had plaque psoriasis popping up all over my skin, those chronic yeast infections, always feeling like I was stressed, never having enough money. I was like, there's got to be something better. And I invested in therapy, I invested in learning, and I invested in hours of my time reading personal development books, listening to different talks and lectures. People like what I'm doing you now, I've been doing this for years. I've joined multiple people's classes and all kinds of stuff. So then I started, after I'd done so much work internally, I was like, I'm gonna go on the business route again. I'm gonna figure out how to be an entrepreneur and I'm gonna figure out how to do this. So one of the first things I invested in was a YouTube from two different YouTubers who was able to create a business on YouTube and be able to live sustainably by having a YouTube channel. So I invested in them. I paid $999.7 to get involved in their course and to learn about it. I then worked, if you guys have been in my world for a while, I talk all the time about Christine Michelle Hayes. She is an amazing business coach, and she's basically, I started my business in January of 2022. And I started being in her world in November of 2021. So I was learning from her before I even started my business. And so I spent, and you can see here, this is the monies I actually paid to be in her courses starting back in December of 2021. So like in November, I learned about her. I took some free classes, and then December, I started investing in her at $55. The next amount I invested was it was a $770 course. I paid she had a special for $333, and I just kept going. At some point, I spent $3,000 to get everything she had for the next 6 months. And I was just learning and learning and learning. And then from there, I was able to, at this point, investing in this and getting this started, I was able to have a business that by March of 2022, we were making, is it January, February, March? Yeah, around May, I think. May was a $7,000 month in my business. And I'm like, it blew my mind. Investing in Christine at her $2,997, I immediately made that back and then some. I almost tripled my investment because that was in March. And so by May, we had hit $7,000 that month. So then I decided to take it a next level up, right? So then I started paying for private coaching where I could get help from a one-on-one person to learn this information. And so with the private coaching, it was $32. I paid more for private coaching for the first year than I earned in a salary as a teacher in my first year. The reason I am telling you all of this is because I want you to understand how much I invest in learning, how much I invested in becoming a better person. And that through all of this, I have spent over $120,000 to learn my own personal growth. This isn't college. This was like, I need to learn how to be better. I want to learn from people who are doing it. I want to walk the walk that they have walked. So in my second year, private coaching was $52,000. I didn't start making $52,000 in my lifetime until like 10 years of having a career before I got to the point of being able to say I make $52,000 a year. It took me 10 years to get to that point. And I immediately invested that amount of money into private coaching. I want you to know like how serious, I accidentally hit somebody, asked on mute, I didn't mean that. I want you to know how serious I am, that I want to learn, I want to grow, and I want to do better. And I know that tapping in to people who have done this before was going to pay off, and it totally has. You know, to have a multi-million-dollar business, I barely spent 1% of that, if you think about it in that way. But at the time, spending this money, it felt a little scary, but I was like, I got to do it. Alpha Femme experience. So Melanie Ann Lair, she created the group Alpha Femme. She's a woman who was living in her car in 2016. She took a course on how to have a good relationship. She started teaching people what she was doing. And from there, she built a business, $80 million now in 2024. So I wanted to learn from her. What did she do to go from living in her car in 2016 to having an $80 million business? I want to learn from her. So I spent $13,000 to be in her year-long program where I get to learn everything she has to teach. I was able to book a phone call with her for $3,000 out of a 90-minute phone call for $3,000 so I can learn more from her. I've also recently taken a productivity course for $7,000 because I can see the investment in becoming more productive and being able to focus on what it is that I want. So all of this is to say that I know the power of investing and I'm willing to do it myself. And I have learned so much. If you can take what I have learned from 2017 to up until now and condense it, that is what I'm doing with you now, okay? So my genius, my skills and my talents and what I am known for in my business is that I simplify learning difficult and complex topics. So in the insurance exam space, people have to take a course and it's so difficult. It's so hard for people to read and understand this material. And the reason that I built $1 million business in less than 3 years is because I'm able to take that really difficult so boring, so difficult, so annoying information, and I've made it fun and engaging. I also condense the time that it takes to learn the material. I say it in ways that help people memorize it and retain the information. And I make it fun, I make it engaging, and I make it motivating. And so I want you to understand what I'm trying to do with you now is my goal is to teach you all that I have learned from being stressed and stuck, because that's where I was in 2017, shingles down my back, stressed and stuck, to being free and rich faster and cheaper than it took me. So again, I spent over $125,000, over six figures to learn how to have an incredible, amazing life and to make millions of dollars. I spent money to make that happen. Over 6 figures have been spent, not to even mention the hours that I have spent reading books, listening to people who have done it before, learning from people who have done it before, figuring out a way to make this easy and simple. So this is my skill and my talent and my genius. And so what I want to do with you is condense everything that I have learned from 2017 till this point to be able to go from stressed and stuck to be able to say, I am free, I am rich, and I am living my most amazing life. I want to do that for you. So what I'm going to share with you now is the 7 lessons that I have learned through this journey that I think are the most important lessons. Now, we only have 30 more minutes left with each other. So I'm going to be able to briefly share these lessons with you and give you some tidbits that you can walk away with. But what I'm going to offer to you at the end of these lessons is a way of working with me for the next 9 weeks so that you can actually fully embody these lessons and walk away with an incredible skill set of your own to be able to create and manifest the life that you want, to be able to master your life and put you on the track to be able to make millions. That is my goal. So let me briefly introduce to you these 7 lessons, and then I want to share my opportunity and invite you to work with me for the next 9 weeks. So the first thing, and this is not the first thing I learned, but I learned that it's the first thing you need to start with, is you need to begin with the end in mind. So many of us think that the first thing we need to do is figure out how to make money. I need to make money, so let me get a better job. Let me figure out how to make more. Let me get a side hustling gig that allows me to make money. You first try to make money to free yourself up, but that is not the first step that you need to take. The first step you need to take is, what is this life that you think you need to do a bunch of stuff to get to? What is that life? What kind of life are you living? For me, it was like I would literally imagine a big piece of property that I owned with beautiful trees, with water on it, and that I get to walk on this property every day, and I'm living that life now. I started this journey back in, honestly, 2019 with that vision in mind. Was like, I want a beautiful piece of property where all of my family could come, that I get to see the trees every day. I began with that as my purpose and my vision. So don't try to think what my first step is. I need to do this, I need to do that. And then eventually, if I make enough money, then I can free myself, and then I can start investing in my business. And then make your first thing beginning with the end in mind. What is your ultimate goal? What is the ultimate life you want to be living? Envision that. What is that? Make that your North Star. And when that becomes your focus and you're aligned with that, then you begin to do the different things that will lead you up to that. But you have to know where it is that you're going to begin with. Don't set the bar as I need to make more money. That's not the bar. That's not where you want to start with. What you want to start with is what is the amazing vision that I hold for myself, and I'm going to cultivate that vision. Okay, so begin with the end in mind. That's lesson number 1. The next thing is this belief. I believe with my entire body and my being that everything is working for me in my favor all the time. Everything is working in my favor all the time. I was the other day at the hospital with my baby, worried about her. And the thought that was running through my mind was, everything is working for me. Everything is working for me. Everything is working for me. It was not, oh my God, what if this happened? What if that happened? What's going to be next? What is the worry? What is the fear? What is the doubt? I don't spend my time on worry, fear, and doubt anymore. I used to, but now my mind is focused on how is this working for me? Everything is working for me. I'm going to be able to see that somehow, some way this worked for me. I've been able to harness and capture this energy, so it is my default setting. I no longer default to fear. I no longer default to worry. I default to somehow, some way this is working for me. This is one of the most amazing lessons that if you can capture the essence of this and this can become your default setting, it will change everything in your life. And I've even had to go back and think about all the things I went through. Some of you do or don't know this. When I was 15 years old, I was rejected by my family. I was sent away to a boarding school in Montana that ended up being an abusive boarding school. And I lived there for 2 years with people who were abusing me, with people who were abusing the other children around me. And I had to suffer a lot of things while at that place. And yet today I sit with peace and I say that worked in my favor. I don't hold any more pain, any more grudges, any more animosity for what I went through during that time at that abusive boarding school. I sit with peace today and say that worked out in my favor for who I am today. That is the kind of peace I have been able to harness, and you don't even understand the levels of power that can come to you when you make peace with everything that's in your past and you have forgiveness for everything that's happened along your way. Do you know how much more power I have available to me now? That I'm no longer focused on the negative, awful things that I experienced in my lifetime? That I'm no longer bound by anger, that I'm no longer bound by resentment, I'm no longer bound by the grief of what I've gone through? How much more freedom I have to be able to create this beautiful life that I now live? It is so incredibly freeing. And it came with sinking this in. Everything is working for me in my favor all the time. Okay. The next lesson is what I believe to be true is true. And I can change what I believe. There's scientific people out there who can explain to you exactly how this works. I'm not the kind of person who likes to get into the nitty-gritty scientific details. I will learn from those people, but what I like to do is walk away with what is the essence of this lesson. The essence is that we have incredibly powerful minds, and they will find us the evidence of whatever belief that we hold to be true. So we have to understand that what I believe to be true is true. So if you believe that you'll never make enough money, that's going to be true. If you believe that only people are lucky and only certain people become millionaires, that'll be true. You will find evidence that will make that true. But you also have the ability to change what you believe. And you can change to believe that it is easy to make money. You can change to believe that you get to make money how you want to make money, not how someone else tells you how you want to make money. And as soon as you decide on a new belief and you begin to believe it, you will then find the evidence of that belief being true. Okay. So I have many different beliefs. I believe that everything is working out for me all the time. I find evidence of that being true. I believe that money loves to come to me and flows easily to me. I have the evidence of making that true. I believe that I make the most money when I'm just being mama and hanging out with my daughter. I have the evidence that that is true. Okay, so these next two lessons actually go together. You can change what you believe in your mind. Your mind is just set up on a system of beliefs, right? If you think about it this way, like your brain is a computer program, and it's been downloaded to run programs based on the people that you grew up with. Your parents downloaded belief systems. The school system downloaded belief systems. The society that you dealt with downloaded belief systems. So you have to understand that everything that you are currently operating on is a belief system given to you by someone else. And that you have the ability to take ownership of your operating system in your mind and change what it is that you want it to believe. And when you take conscious decision of the operating system in your mind, you are able to rewire the beliefs that you have and then find evidence of the new beliefs. And so that goes with the next lesson, which is find the evidence until you become the evidence. When I started this, and it's so crazy to me that I'm doing this in September, like the perfect alignment of this. I joined Melanie Ann Layer's world in September. I joined her Alpha Femme group on Facebook in September of 2021. And I began, and at this time, I'm working a corporate job. I'm making at most around $60,000 a year with a couple of bonuses. I'm living in a toxic relationship where he doesn't, like, if you guys understood my second marriage, he never wanted to hang out with me. He had his own trauma. He was living in his studio bedroom, making music, and we would maybe see each other for dinner. Like, he never wanted to leave the house, never wanted to hang out with me. This was the life that I was living. So I'm living in a rented condo. So I don't have money in the savings. I don't have a beautiful life with my husband, and I'm stuck in this place. And I joined this group online on Facebook where these women are proclaiming that they live amazing lives and that they're making all kinds of money. And at first I was like, this is unreal. But then I was in the group and I'm watching this happen and I'm seeing it, and I can watch these people live these amazing lives. And so I found the evidence of how this happened. And then now I have become the evidence. I sat and watched people saying they made $10,000 a month. And then I've made $10,000 a month. I sat and watched the evidence of women saying they made $100,000 a month. Now I've made $100,000 a month. I watched people say that they made millions of dollars in their business, and now I'm making millions of dollars in my business. I found the evidence that this could be real and that this could be true. And now I have become the evidence. And one of the biggest ways that you make this possible for you is that you have to understand that being me is the best way to be. So while there are other people who can show you the evidence of how this is possible, what you don't want to do is copy them. You don't want to be exactly like them. You may copy different things that are in alignment with you, but the truth is that you need to be yourself. And the truth is most of us are not. Most of us are not ourselves. We are what our parents want us to be. We are what society wants us to be. We are what we think our spouses want us to be. We are hardly ever ourselves. If you look at me back in 2017, 2016, when I was a teacher, I had long hair, dark hair. I was wearing clothes that I'm like, I have to wear clothes that look like this. I was not authentically myself in any way. And this is one of the things I am actually super grateful for. In my second marriage, I just talked about how awful it was. One of the amazing things in that marriage was, like, he was a person who did what he wanted without caring what everyone thought. He was a white boy rapper with tattoos. Okay. He did not care. Like, there's so many jokes that could be made about him and what he was doing. And to see him stand up in that power, that he decided, this is who I am, and I'm going to go with this identity. And he would wear big, crazy jewelry and stuff. And I'm like, that's who I am too. And I really became myself in my authentic expression of how I wanted to dress and how I wanted to wear my hair and how I wanted to, put clothes on my body. I really stopped caring what other people think. You would think that in order to be a successful corporate trainer, you would need to be wearing a blazer. I don't wear a blazer. I wear spaghetti straps. I don't even wear a bra. Okay. I'm braless. The more that I became me, the more that I cared more about what I wanted versus what other people wanted, the more successful that I became in my life and in my business. Now, this next lesson is we are what we repeatedly do. And this was actually one of the first things that I did to be able to create the life that I live now. But I realized it's not necessarily the first lesson I would have started with, which is I was very picky the order in which I did these things, but we are what we repeatedly do. And what I mean by that is you've got to be conscious about the habits that you have. I woke up one day with horrible pain in my teeth. And I went to the dentist and I had to do all this stuff. And it was just painful, painful, painful. And it all came down to I could have been flossing and prevented all of this. I could have been flossing every day, but I wasn't. And now I was stuck with this horrible pain in my mouth. And I made a decision that if I have control to be able to fix this from ever happening again, I'm going to do it. And I started flossing. And it was 3 months went by where I realized, oh my God, I've been flossing every night. This is like, I've been promising dentists that I would floss for forever. And I finally did it. And I've been doing it for 3 months like it ain't no thing. And then I was like, what other habits can I do? And again, you can go back to my Facebook journey and watch me. There was a day where I decided I was going to clean my bathroom counter. Like it was just filled with shit all over the place, like hairspray and all this stuff. And there was no organization and everything was just everywhere, makeup and all this stuff just all over the place. And I decided I'm going to clean it all and I'm going to give everything a home. And every time I use something, I'm going to put it away. And I made a habit of keeping my bathroom counter completely clean and spotless and everything put away. I would use it every day and then put it back every day. I started keeping my kitchen clean. My kitchen was clean every single night so that when I woke up in the next morning, I would enter my day in a beautifully clean kitchen with nothing I had to do from the night before. And that is still something that, like last night, I fell asleep with the baby while putting her down to bed. I fully intended on getting up and cleaning the kitchen, but like this habit has become so ingrained into like even David that David was like, oh, Melissa fell asleep, so I'm going to clean the kitchen for her. And this morning he said, hey, babe, I made sure the kitchen was clean for you so that you could wake up and come into a beautifully clean kitchen because I know how important that is for you. Like this, we are what we repeatedly do. And I do it so religiously that the people around me will do it for me if I don't get to do it. Like it's a powerful thing. And again, in the same way we get to choose our beliefs, we get to choose our habits. The other biggest lesson that I have learned is that I love money and money loves me. And this is a hard one for people because most of us have a lot of anger and a lot of resentment around money. Most of us talk about money in the most awful way. There's never enough. I'm always poor. I'm always broke. I'll never be able to get out of this. Or there's just not enough money. Like so many of us have so many negative thoughts about money on a daily basis. Money keeps us trapped. Money is never there for me when I need it. I have to do too much work to try to get any money. So many of us are ingrained in this belief system that money is far from us, money is hard to get, that money is not available, and that money wants us to be living an awful life. Most of us function in that realm. And I had to shift my beliefs completely around money. And I even had to shift beliefs around talking about money. It is so uncomfortable for people when you start talking about having large sums of money, like it really freaks them out in some ways. Like how do you have these conversations around money when people are so uncomfortable around money? And I was like, I'm going to start having these conversations and I'm going to start talking about money, and I'm going to completely change my belief system around money, and I want to change other people's belief systems around money. And so now I live with my default setting that money loves me. Money loves me. Money wants to hang out with me. Money loves coming in my bank account. Money and I are best friends. And today I decided to wear green so that I'm all up in the money. And this is probably one of the hardest lessons for people to really lock in, which is why there's 6 other lessons before we get to this one. When you learn these 6 other lessons and really harness them, it becomes so much easier to be able to receive money and feel like money is totally supporting you in all ways. Because most of us feel like money is not supporting us in all ways, and that it's really hard to get money, and that it all really sucks, and that we're stuck until we can get money. And when we're able to love money and love spending money and love being around money, that's when it's able to flow in a lot faster. So these are my 7 incredible lessons that I want to share with you. And today you only got a brief hint of all of them. Now, it is totally possible to take what you have learned with me today and be able to begin changing your life. And I invite you to do that. But I also want to invite you to is to learn with me for the next 9 weeks, starting September 24th. So September 24th, I am running a program. It's called Mega Millions, Master Your Life and Make Millions, Transformational Journey. So I want you to come to me as you are and I want to share with you of all the knowledge that I have taken over these last years to go from stressed and broke to free and rich. I want to condense that all for you in the most powerful and amazing, fun and engaging way over 9 weeks with me on my Mega Millions program. So let me share this with you. I need to get a new screen up here real quick so I can walk with you through this. Oh, I think you guys can see it now. I think I pulled it up right. Let me see what you guys can see. Yes, okay, perfect. All right, so I will share this link with you for in a minute, but I want to keep your attention with me here right now, okay? So this is the Mega Millions with Melissa Dillon. We have this beautiful sales page. It's so wonderful. So it's all about transforming your life, unlocking financial abundance in just 9 weeks. It is $888, but I have a few different payment plans, okay? So what is going to be the Mega Millions? Like, I want to show you what this is going to be so that you understand what it is that we're going to be doing over these 9 weeks, okay? So it's going to be 9 weeks of live lessons. So for 1 hour every week, we're going to join together on a Zoom meeting just like this. I'm going to spend a whole hour on that lesson. So we'll talk for 1 whole hour about begin with the end in mind. And I will get you set up to really be able to understand what that means, how to use that as your focus, and how to put that realistically in your life so that you can begin to create your life. We will spend an hour every week on one of these 7 lessons that we have done. Then you're going to have an integration exercise for each lesson. So I have created a beautiful guide that you'll be able to take with you throughout the week and be able to integrate what it is that I am saying to do in that lesson that I teach you. So I'm going to teach you for an hour, and then I'm going to give you the most amazing integration lesson where you can embed that lesson into your everyday life and walk with that. And I'm going to give you a guided meditation audio to rewire your mindset. So like I said, your brain is an operating system, and it has been downloaded with other people's beliefs from your parents, from your school system, from your siblings, from society. We need to rewire that operating system. And one of the most amazing ways to rewire that operating system is with meditation audios where you're listening to someone else tell you something, and it's coming from my voice and my passion and my energy. And so I've created these audios for you that you can listen to that will allow you to embed this lesson, rewire that operating system, and walk away with these new beliefs fully integrated into your body and into your mind. Then I've created some daily mantras. One of the most amazing things that I've done in my life is I repeat things on repeat, like money loves me and I love money. Money loves me and I love money. Everything is working in my favor all the time. Everything is working in my favor all the time. And this is one of the ways that I rewire my system, rewire my mindset to fix all that. And so I have incredible mantras available for you. And then we're going to have a Q&A session. So where the lesson is me talking for an hour, similar to this, where I am teaching you the information. You're then going to have a week to be able to, if you can't catch it live, you're going to have a whole week to be able to watch it and then go about your week with the lessons that I taught you. Go about your week with the integration exercises. Go about your week with the meditation audio. And then you'll be able to come back and have a session with me where it's just you being able to ask questions. So you say, hey, I listened to your lesson. I did the integration audio. This came up for me. I'm wondering about this. How do I deal with this? You know, and you'll be able to ask me coaching questions. So where I paid $52,000 a year to have a coach, you're going to have it in a phone call with me every week. Okay. So it's going to be like a powerful coaching session, and you're going to have every week you have a lesson. Every week you have an integration exercise. Every week you have a new audio meditation for that lesson, new powerful mantras for that lesson. And then you get to have a Q&A with me. And then we'll start the next week's lessons over the 9 weeks. And again, this is all about taking every tool, every strategy, and every mindset shift that I went from stressed out with shingles down my back to being able to make mega millions at this point. I purposely chose $888 for a reason. So I didn't really talk about energy, but so much of we are actually energetic beings, and we don't realize that. We think we're in this physical world, but we'll save that lesson for another day because it's a little bit out there and it's a little bit hard for people to grasp their minds on. But one of the things about energy is a set of belief systems for numbers. And 888 is actually the number of abundance. It sets you in alignment with prosperity and financial abundance. And so I specifically wanted this program to be $888 so that it integrates us with that frequency of financial abundance. So I know that 888 might be a little bit difficult for some people to come up with. So we do have a couple of different options. There's if you can are able to pay it all, sweet, 888. If you need a couple monthly options, we can do 3 monthly payments of $297. And then some of you are paid bi-weekly, and that might be easier for you. So it'd be 6 bi-weekly payments of $149, and it would be done by the time you're on that journey. Now I have not done this exact 9-week transformation before, but I have worked with people on their money mindset through my Magic Money program. And so here on this page is some testimonies from people who have worked with me related to money. Wendy had incredible belief systems where she realized what was holding her back from being able to be successful. And she made this little video with all this money dropping from my video. I thought that was magical. Melissa Morales has had amazing shifts when it comes to her business, and she's shifting into being able to make 5 figures a month. And she makes jewelry. She makes crystal jewelry and stuff. She's not even selling online courses by any means. You don't have to do what I do. It gets to be whatever it is you want to do to make money. Sky has a vintage business. So she has like a thrift store vintage business, and she has been making more money, having more consistent, bigger cash days since joining my program. Adriana has landed 6 clients. She came to me, she's like, I don't have any clients and I can't get anybody to sign up for me, and it just sucks. And then one day she got 6 clients in one day after asking me a couple of questions about money and about shifting her beliefs. And so that's been super amazing. So here's a couple of questions. Again, we're going to be meeting on Zoom every week, twice a week. We'll have an opening ceremony, and then we're going to start meeting twice a week, every week for the 7 weeks. And then we'll have a closing ceremony, and that's the total of 9 weeks. Every class will be recorded. So if you don't get an option to watch it, you can come back to the recording. And during the coaching call, so like, again, one call will be me teaching, but then the next call will be you being able to ask me questions. And those will be recorded as well so that you can rewatch them. Like if you're not able to attend live, you can watch those. And then if you have a question that you want me to answer, but you, again, can't attend live, just give me the question before the call, and I will answer the question on the call for you so that you can come back and watch it. Now, there is one of you that is in alignment with working with me one-on-one through this journey. I want to be able to give this person the most amazing time and experience. So there's only availability for one person to have a one-on-one experience with me. So in addition to the 8-week journey or the 9 weeks journey through the Mega Millions, there's one spot for one person to work with me one-on-one. And as soon as it's gone, as soon as it's purchased, it's gone. That's going to be at $2,997. And that's going to include 3 one-on-one phone calls with me so that we can really get, deep down into your nitty-gritty relationship with money and your relationship with all the things you need to do. And so that's available. Now, if you're not able to do the 888, and what I'm actually going to do for you as we end this call is we're going to do one of my meditations. Okay. I'm going to record it live with you on this call. Because some of you might be saying right now, I want to do this, but I don't know how this is possible. I don't know how I need money for rent. I need money for my car. I need money for this. And she's wanting $888. I know I want to do this, but I just can't see how. I don't know how this is going to happen. I don't know how this is possible. I'm going to show you, because I'm actually going to give you a powerful meditation that you can begin using, because this does not start until the 24th. So if you can't buy it today, but you got a couple of weeks where I can, if you listen to this meditation that we're about to do, I trust and believe. First of all, one of my belief systems is nothing that is meant for me can be taken from me. So if this is meant for you, this is going to happen for you. And it may happen this round or it may happen next round. I don't know when I'm going to do this again, because my calendar, I can't plan more than 3 months at a time with the baby. But like, I will do this again eventually. It may be more money at that point, but I trust and believe that this is meant for you. You'll be there. If it's not meant for you, you won't be there. That's okay. I don't need all of you to buy it. I want only the people who really want to be there to be there. And I'm holding the space for you to be there. So we're going to have a powerful meditation at the end of this. And I will send you a recording of just that meditation so that you can listen to it every day until the 24th. And let's see how many of you right now who say, I can't afford this. If you listen to that meditation, you will be able to manifest the $888 you need to get this course. Now, if that doesn't work for you, I do also have a Magic Money membership. And this is where those testimonials came from. Wendy's, Sky's, Adriana's, Melissa's, those testimonies came from here. Is I have a Facebook group where we talk about money. People ask me questions. I go live. I talk about money. And it's like a playground for money on Facebook. And it's only $33 a month. So you can always start there if that's where you need to start. Okay. So let me share with you the links real quick. So everything is on my website at Melissa May Dillon. So let me put this into the chat real quick here for you. And then we're going to do the mindset audio meditation. So So the link is right here for that. If you want to save that, bookmark that. One of the powerful things about manifesting is go to this link every day. So if you want this, if you're like, I want this, I want to work with her, go to this link every day and look at it and dream about it. Begin with the end in mind. The end in mind is that you're in this program. Not, again, what did I tell you at the very beginning? How am I going to get the money? Don't go into that. Don't go, how am I going to get the money? If you don't already have it in your bank account or you don't have it already available, the thought process is not, how do I get it? Okay. Begin with the end in mind. Read through this program. Tell people you want to be in this program. Talk about being in this program, okay? And that will help you shift to get to the point. Some idea, some inspiration, some crazy. Trisha is in this class right now. Trisha, she has been able, is it not available? Something not working? Trisha is able to manifest money out of the craziest places. She gets ramped. So she got like a letter when, I think I copied the link wrong. I pasted it twice. That's why. There we go. All right. I copied the link twice. Trisha manifests money from the craziest places. She got a letter one day. It was like, hey, your loan was messed up. Here's money. That happened to me one time. I got a letter in the mail. It said your car loan back from like 2009. We reevaluated it and we owe you $700. Money can come from the craziest places, the craziest situations. Melanie Ann Lair talked about how one time her accountants called her. So she's, already been running her business and she's been doing it for a while. And she had gone to a jewelry store and she's like, I really want this ring, but it's like, even though I have an incredible business, this ring is a little bit out of my price point right now. And she was like, you know what? If it's meant for me, I'll get it. And she's like, somehow, some way, if it's meant for me, the money will show up and I'll be able to purchase this ring. And then 2 days or 3 days, I forget exactly when, but very shortly after, her accountant called and said, you need to call me. And when your accountant calls you like that, like you're like, oh, I owe more in taxes. What's going on? Somebody messed up. Somebody stole my money. Like, who knows when your accountant tells you that? He called and said, hey, there was an error in your taxes. We are sending you a refund check for $4 million. She got a refund check for $4 million. And it started with the manifestation of, I want this new ring. Somehow, some way it's going to come to me. Okay. So I don't even want you to go figure out how are you going to get this money? I want you to say, I want this in my life. I believe this is for me. And I want the money to show up in some magical way for you. Okay. That's what I want. And if it doesn't show up for you in a magical way and it doesn't happen by the 24th, then you need to trust that everything is working in your favor and it's going to be okay. And that maybe you just join my Magic Money Step. Maybe you just start following me on Facebook more. Maybe you join the Alpha Femme group and start seeing this evidence for you. Like wherever your journey starts at is totally fine, whether or not it can start with this 888 or not. All right, sorry. So anyway, so the first link I just shared with you is the Mega Millions page. This one for the 888 9-week journey. And then the second link is the money membership for $33 a month. So if you're only to a place where you can do $33 a month, that's what I would do. If you're not even there yet, totally cool. Start following me on Facebook more. Watch every video that I post. Go live with me every time that I go live. And you can get yourself to the point where 33 is super easy. 888 is super easy. 2997 is super easy. I promise if you follow me and believe what I believe and start walking the walk that I believe, all of this will be so easy peasy for you because that's where I'm at today. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and do I'm going to turn off my screen share. And we're going to go ahead and do a meditation. I'm going to stop the recording and start a new one so that I don't have to edit videos because I'm not at editing videos. So let me stop the recording. And then if you are watching this live, just click to the next YouTube video where we've got the meditation available.